Hello, welcome to Chalk Pretty Things. My name is Debbie. Today we're going to do a little Valentine decor. I've got this cute transfer that says hugs and kisses. And I have two glass vases and a little bit of decor. It was just a string of beads to go in them. And the most fun part of all this is I have a bunch of Orbeez or water gel beads. And they're so fun, guys. Look at this. Oh, they're so cold and rubbery and bouncy, and they just glisten. I am so excited for these. I love them. I think I want them in every color. Have you guys ever used these before? I know at one of my grandkids' birthday parties, they filled up a swimming pool, a baby plastic pool with these water beads, and they did like a treasure hunt. They threw things in there and they hunted for treasure in the beads. It was a lot of fun. They're so cool. And if you've never used them before, this is how they come. They come these tiny little beads that are dried in a bag, and that's how big they grow. They swell up when you add water to them. Okay, so my plan today is to use this transfer, and I'm actually going to cut it apart. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, I probably should have cleaned these first. Let me wipe them down. I'm going to put hugs on one of them, and hugs and then kisses on the other one. So we're going to have two of these. So I'm going to cut them apart into 3 pieces. And we'll chuck them on the jars, and then we'll add our decor. Now these are reusable transfer stickers, and they are sticky on the back, and they're going to stick really well to glass. So I want to make sure that I fuzz this. Now you can fuzz it on a fuzzing cloth like I am. Any towel you have around the house, you can fuzz it on your clothes. Just anything to reduce that little amount of stickiness. And I guess we're doing kisses first. So I'm just going to lay this on here. And this one will be easier because I won't have to line it up. And maybe I don't even have to line the other one up. I don't know. Anyway, you want to make sure that you don't have any air bubbles around this silk screen, which I do right now. So smooth it down really well. And you may want to go a little at a time on this. See like a little bubble or something right there on my S. Smooth it down well. The silk screen is where the paste is going to go through. The green is just the adhesive part. So my kisses is going to be in the color red. So I'm using Candy Apple Red. I'm going to get a small squeegee. These are silicone squeegees, and they are beveled. They kind of have a beveled edge. I'm just going to scoop some of my chalk paste a little bit on my squeegee, and I'm going to smooth it over the word kisses. And I'm really not going to worry too much about getting it on the glass, because once it dries on the glass, you can work at it to scrape it off. So if I have any mistakes, I can scrape it off. Now once this is dried, this design is dried, it will be smudge proof and budge proof, which means that you can touch it and even rub your hand lightly over it. You can dry dust it with a cloth, but to take it off, you would have to wet it down and scrape at it. So see how that's all covered? I'm going to put the remainder of my chalk paste back in the jar to scrape it off. Let's set this aside. And I'm going to go ahead and remove this. You don't want the silk screen to dry on your design, because then the paste will come up with the transfer. Kisses! Very good. Now see how my transfer kind of came off, rolled? That's because it stuck so good. I needed to fuzz that a little bit more. You don't want to stretch out your transfers. These are reusable, and so you don't want to stretch them out because you want them to be in the same shape that they were in when you purchased them the first time use. As you jump on today, the keyword is hugs. If you type in the word hugs and check your messenger, you'll get a link, pre-built cart link to the Chalk Couture products that I'm using. And then the message will also tell you a little bit about what else you might use for this product. And most of this I got on Amazon. Okay, so I'm going to put hugs and on this. So I think it's probably not going to really matter how I line this up. Let's put it on and let's just see. Make sure you smooth it around the silk screen. I'm going to kind of look at these. Are they going to be pretty much in alignment? Yeah, I think so. So I'm going to make sure it's down and that's straight. And I'm going to get a different squeegee, or you can clean the same one you had. And this color I'm using is Couture Coral. This one's a little bit drier, but I think it's ready to be used. So let's go ahead and chalk on. Actually, I should probably go ahead and put on the and as well. Where's my and, my ampersand? Here it is. Because it'll be the same color. So we'll go ahead and do both of those at once. I'm going to fuzz it a couple times. Makes it easier to remove. It'll lessen the chance it'll stick, stretch out. Actually, I think I'm going to do this later because I want to put it up a little closer. So let's go ahead and chalk on the word hugs with our Couture Coral. I can see already that this is a little drier, so I'm going to work pretty fast on this because I don't want it to come up with the transfer. I want to stay, go down through the glass. Yeah, I can see this is drier as I chalk it on. So I'm going to go ahead and take it off pretty quickly here. I'm going to start at the corner, work my way to the center so I'm not going to stretch it out as much, and pull it off. We got lucky. It worked, guys. It worked. I'm going to stick this aside. I'm going to show you guys how to wash these off in just a second. Now, since I'm going to be moving pretty close to that just chalked word hugs, I'm going to go ahead and hit it with my heat dry tool to get it dry so that when I put that other one down, I'm not peeling off what I just put down. And this dries really quickly. I'm going to go ahead and do my ampersand. What I might do is use part of my transfer backer to kind of protect this chalked on surface a little bit. I just don't want it to pull it up. And I'm also going to do this in the Couture Coral. Just smooth it over the silk screen. So you're going to take off whatever excess you have too. So it's just left with like a thin layer of paste. I'm going to go ahead and take that down. Don't fall. Success, look at that. Success. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cap up my jars of paste because I know I'm done with those. And I am going to show you how to clean the transfer really quick. Actually, since this one was a little dry, I'm going to go ahead and squirt some distilled water in there. And I'll mix it up before I use it again. And that'll soften it up a little bit. It'll allow it to rehydrate. So put this aside. Cap up my red. Then we'll have a little fun with the water gels. Okay, so to clean these transfers, all you need to do is spray them. Now the red is highly pigmented and may stain the green part of your transfer. I'm just going to go ahead and spray them. I'm not sure you can see that. I'm going to wet them down. I'm going to take a paper towel, wipe the first thicker layer off the transfer as much as I can. And then I'm going to use what we call a border eraser. border eraser. That's just like a magic eraser sponge. And I'm just using plain water to clean these guys. It's like a magic eraser sponge, but without any chemicals. If you use chemicals on your transfers, it could reduce the stickiness and harm the transfers. So don't use chemicals on them. Okay, so they're sort of started cleaning. Now I am going to get my border eraser, which has been sitting in water over here. I'm going to squeeze it out. And I'm just going to go ahead and wipe over the front of the transfers. And you can see it's removing a lot of that paste, the extra stuff. And this red's going to be a little harder to clean. But no worries, guys, no worries. Okay, and I'm going to rinse this out. I'm going to go flip this over and clean the other side. And I'm going to go lightly on this one so I don't harm the adhesive. Flip this one over lightly. And I do like to kind of clean my work surface as I go. Flip this one over. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm going to go over the back of the transfers and I'm going to dry them. If you have any questions, please let me know. Write them in the comment. If you're watching the replay, please comment #replay to let me know you watched. Also, it'll get my page boosting a little more so that other people can see it. I would love for more people to join us. I'd love to know where you're watching from. Okay, now that these are clean, you can see right through the silk screen. So I'm going to go ahead and put them back on their backers. Now the backers have a shiny side and a matte side. You apply the adhesive side of the transfer to the shiny side of the backer sheet. And then I usually like to go over them one last time with a paper towel to make sure they have good contact with the backer. And then they're ready to store and ready to reuse. See how they go back together? Okay, are you guys ready to have some fun with the Orby beads? Or the water gel beads, whatever you want to call them. So I've never worked with these before. Let's get them, whoops, up here. And I got a cup to pour these in. Okay, so I've had these hydrating overnight in water. So I just put a little bit in here and it made this whole big old, look how fun these are, guys. Made this whole big old bucket of beads. So I'm going to put like a little bit in each of these jars. Kisses, I think, is going to be red. I'm going to go ahead and start putting this string of kind of beads in here, a little at a time. And we're going to kind of maneuver them a little bit so that we can make them look pretty. They tangle pretty easy, guys, so be careful. And I'm just going to layer on some of these beads. Let it fall and wrap. Layer more beads. And you don't want to fill them completely up to the top because you're going to add some water and they're going to kind of float. That's probably good. Let's try this one. And these beads bounce, so if they escape, you can count on picking them up later off the floor or stepping on them with your bare feet. A little bit more for these. Oh, they're bouncing all over, guys. Okay, so this is what they look like at this point. Now I'm going to fill them up with a little water, and the clear beads are just going to kind of seem to disappear. I hope. And it looks like our decorations are just kind of floating. I'll lift it up so you can see. Can you kind of see how they're just floating? And here's the other one. It's kind of like the decorations are suspended. And then you can do a couple things. You can either use floating candles. Now these are dripless floating candles. You just put it on here and then you can light it for your Valentine's Day display. And that's what they look like. I don't have any matches here or lighter. But you could also use, I think, I found these waterproof tea lights at Walmart today. And I think you can use these in there on the bottom. Now, I haven't read up on these, so I don't know exactly how they work. And I don't know how you would turn them on and off. So I'm not real sure about these, but it might be something to try. But I've never used those, so I'm not sure. But it's just something to think about as an option. But here are our decorations for tonight. Hugs and kisses. Very easy to do. Cute little display will be built with these. And I'll post that later. So I hope you liked it. If you want to share this video, please feel free to share it. The keyword is hugs to get the products that I use tonight. And I hope you give it a try. Please give it a heart. Let me know how you like it. Thank you. Bye.